Message after dark. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Oh, God. Could it get any worse? I shouldn't even ask. It always can. It's Midnight's Edge after dark. I'm, of course, your narrator, Supreme Mr. Rob Robot Shlomo, to you, coming to you from Not Shabby Road Studios. With me, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
I am. We're attached at the hip.
Yeah,
I thought you guys were going to miss this week.
No. With us, as always, is the whitest man in show business, the resident physician. He's got the cure for what ails you, the script doctor.
Good evening, everybody.
And joining us is our favorite.
I'm just picking on him.
I know. And with us is our resident physician. Not resident physician, I already introduced him. With us is your favorite YouTube harpy. She's an Emmy and ESPY, a Tony, a Bammy, a BAFTA. She's an Earl NOBE, which makes her an earlobe. Dun 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 dun.
Miss Macarena.
Miss Macarena.
Hey, you can barely see my green screen.
Okay. We still got our music. Culture Casino sent us a super sticker right off the bat. How you doing, sir? Didn't I say something to you about coming in tonight? Maybe I did. Shoot. I'm going to send you that, Culture, because I think I did say something about coming in tonight.
Cool.
I always forget everything.
We
have another.
Let me tell you. Oh, we do? Okay, cool.
Let me get to it. It is way down here from Raging Rhino, our good buddy. Raging Rhino from Australia.
Did you improvise all the effects? So Raging Rhino, Australian 299. Hail me, chap. Have an awesome day, everyone. Thank you very much, Raging Rhino.
Good friend of ours. Thank you so much. Always hangs out over there on the Geek Blend podcast and stuff with those guys. Just hung out with them. Was it Friday or Saturday night? Saturday night. It's Blur's Day. It's Blur's Day again, right, Rob?
Yeah, it is.
It's Munching Monday, where edibles are buy one get one half off.
Oh, good Lord. Why can't I find Culture Casino? Oh, because he changed his icon. That's why.
I'll forget how to read again.
You forgot how to read again?
No, if I do it anymore.
I sent you the link, Cords. I don't know why you're never here. Because we actually don't have a shit ton to talk about. There's actually a story we're kind of sitting on, but it's going to be in a video tomorrow, so we're just going to sit on it. But there is some other stuff to talk about anyway. But the sad news, I suppose we should probably get the sadder news out of the way first. We had a slew of deaths in the last few days. Rob, why don't you start off with that?
Well, first of all, we lost Chadwick Boseman.
Surprisingly, I mean, some people knew he had cancer. It was reported years ago, and then I think everybody just kind of forgot about it. But and then there was all those rumors.
I had no idea.
Feeling good and all that stuff, and he looked like shit. So, like, everybody was assuming something was up, and then everybody was like crying foul on Disney. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're talking about not having him, and there was rumors coming out that he wasn't going to be in Black Panther 2 and all this kind of crap. And I think they should have just got out ahead of it then, but he kept it pretty much to himself until the end, and just way too fucking young. Too fucking young. 43?
43.
Yeah, 43.
I mean, not even that much older than I am. It's crazy. Ordsboard sends in $2. Hey, buddy. He says he wants some edibles. Well, you can get them, can't you? They're legal where you're at.
I keep saying, I'm hoping, on a side note, I'm hoping that because now a lot of states are going to need money.
All right, let me deal with this real quick. Dick Dastardly, it was me because you were calling me fucking names, so go fuck yourself. I'm so sick of people like you. You're the reason we get called names all the fucking time. Fuck off. Seriously. Get a life.
I've talked to you.
I guess he's disappointed he never won a race. So
I just want to say, get a life.
Bye.
Anyway, that out of the way. I keep saying about edibles and stuff like that. You know, as states need money now, I'm hoping a lot of them are going to look to legalizing weed. Not that
Well,
I use.
you got to do something.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only reason why booze is legal is because someone said during Prohibition, "Hey, remember the government needs money. The government needs money. Remember that 1% excise tax on alcohol? Yeah." So anyway,
but yeah, and then there was but Chad, I mean, as far as the whole Black Panther thing, I didn't even want to get into that, but there's been a whole bunch of nonsense out there about people talking about it in the news and using the opportunity to use it for political gain and for to talk about, well, what are they going to do, this, that, and the other? Who cares? As far as I'm concerned, I hope they never ever make another Black Panther movie, at least until the MCU's done and over with, and you can start something afresh and new in a few years. You just don't do it. Just don't. You don't need it. It's unnecessary. It would just look like a cash grab, and it would tarnish the legacy, in my opinion.
Yeah. And can we please not start with the whole, Shuri should be Black Panther, where do I vote? Okay, listen, too soon, okay? Stop. Just have him, and then you're right, Tom. Just have T'Challa exist off screen, ruling Wakanda for all of eternity, for all of time. That's our memory of him.
Yeah, we don't need any more. It's unnecessary. That there was a few more other sad deaths too as well. But Chadwick Boseman, great actor, and of course people forget that he's done a lot more than Black Panther. I mean, I think that needs to say. I mean, he's played James Brown, and he's played Jackie Robinson, and quite a few other original parts as well, not just people of historical significance. Not a band account says legalize all drugs, addiction as a medical problem. Well, isn't that kind of where we're at right now with the medical industry as it is?
Yeah, right up until like 1904, 1905, the drugstore was literally the drugstore. You could get anything.
Right? No shit. You need some coke? Need some heroin? You need some? A little sniff, a little poke.
What do you think was it? Why do you think it was called Coca-Cola? Put the Coke.
It was made from coca.
Yeah. Put the Coke back in the Coke.
It was. But anyway, Rob, who else did we lose this last week here?
We actually lost NBA star Cliff Robinson. And Script, who else? You said the name. I can't call the name of the head.
It's Linda Hamilton's sister, Lily, I believe is her first name.
Yeah, Lily Hamilton. And we also lost you said the voice actor played Cyclops on the X-Men animated series.
Yes. My computer's lagging because I had the name up and then it just went blank on me. Oh boy. Norman Spencer, sorry.
Norm Spencer, yeah. DCB Titans, Shuri and Okoye can show us themselves, but that's about it. Don't pass the mantle of Black Panther without Boseman there to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even people say, oh, Shuri should get her own movie now. Okay, stop. Okay, just stop. Let's just put this to rest for the time being, please. Absinthe, no. We lost Wilford Brimley. That was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago now, almost. Didn't we learn about that when we were on like the High Council or something like that, Mecca?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. That was like a week ago last Tuesday or something like that. Yeah, God, this year. Fuck this year.
Well, remember what I said?
Leslie Hamilton, we also lost.
Yeah.
Did you say that one?
Yeah. I said Lily Hamilton. That was my bad.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Leslie. Sorry.
Yeah. Remember when I said in that video about?
Oh, and you forgot Spears, one of the guys from Ruby Spears, who created Scooby-Doo and stuff.
And one of the guys from we just found this out. One of the guys from Devo is in the hospital.
Oh my.
from complications from COVID-19. So we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Ruby.
Remember what it said, Tom, in the video, in our most recent video on After Dark?
Was it Joe of Ruby Spears who died? I thought it was the other one. I apologize. I'm wrong. My bad.
It can't get any worse. What am I saying? Of course it can. This seems like there's no bottom to 2020.
I mean, I'll be a full disclosure to our audience. I am so unprepared for today because I just finished a video before we started. That's why we're like 10 minutes late.
Is the one we were working on before this weekend?
Yeah, it's the Space Jam one.
Oh well, I didn't want to give it away.
Who cares? Everybody's going to learn before you know it. And thank you. I guess we passed 17K subscribers at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Today, I think, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't pay attention to that shit. I quit paying attention when like all these other channels bypassed us a long time ago. Because everybody just kind of forgets that we're over here. It's like,
yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm just like still sitting there.
Well,
at least you guys have the main channel.
Have you got to 60 yet?
No.
If you guys haven't
given me any handouts or
if you haven't subscribed to Mecca, get over there. Make sure you're not unsubscribed because YouTube likes to do that kind of shit too. Not a band account sends in another super chat. Wild guessing, when will beer bug lockdowns end? Well, we don't want to get down this too far.
When's the election end?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So probably mid to late November.
My guess, honestly, though, is this is going to stretch out. I've heard a report that says we'll be dealing with this for the rest of our lives. Like in some form anyway. It'll be like the flu where it just flares up.
It flares up, and then at some point there's going to be there's got to be a vaccine. At some point there'll be a vaccine, and it'll most likely be like a like the regular flu. Hey, let's get yourself vaccinated. It will be part of a flu vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm hoping. Anyway, that's the hope. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood near me.
Yeah. 52 movies a year sends $9.99. Says, I know it would never be made in this culture, but Script Doctor, you should write an airplane style parody movie called 2020 the movie. Well, we need to laugh at. Well, did you guys ever not see? You might have missed that trailer I put together. I still never got in touch with the person who did the original footage. But I'm sure I know you guys did. But I mean,
I've seen the one that you're talking about with the giant murder hornets.
All right,
and stuff.
Why don't I'll just show it. Fuck it. See if I can find it here.
Well, while you're doing that, funny enough, so before Peter Graves passed away, sorry, I wrote an Airplane 3 comedy, and but when he passed away, I stopped shopping it around because I don't think you should do another airplane film without Peter Graves. He was just. Even though he wasn't really much into the second one, he is kind of a part of that franchise. And I like straight
not
delivery.
Another movies kind of killed that type of film anyway.
It really did, yeah. And there were some good jokes in there. I might chop it up and see what sort of jokes I could use in future stuff down the road if that's the case. But yeah, a really solid comedy. Is what we need right now. Luckily, we got something pretty close and pretty entertaining with Bill and Ted. So it's good escapism. It'll definitely make you chuckle a few times at least. There are some good jokes there. So,
and if you don't like it or find it to be woke, then you just hate women.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's kind of. I'm tired of people who want to just yell at me for liking it.
Well, it comes a point where, I mean, people are really, really like the individual that was in here earlier. That was what that was all about. Because he's like, I'm like, yeah, dude, if you're trying to find shit that's woke in it, you're using the magnifying glass you usually use for your penis. Because it is so very little in this movie that it's almost non-existent. Just like that dude's penis. But anyway, this is it, folks. This is what you asked for. This summer, an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and only one man can stop them. Tom Hanks
is the only one who has the cure.
Into your hands I commend myself, my body and soul.
But they did the one thing he didn't expect. They took his wife.
I'll always be looking for you, Evie. Even if I'm 1,000 miles away.
This summer, 2020 is the year that tried to kill us all. But only Tom Hanks could stop them in Coronavirus versus Murder Hornet. Coming to streaming.
Isn't he supposed to be hiding on
Oh yeah, well, I did that.
He's on an island. He's on an
not
island
charges,
somewhere.
Just accusations, but
Yeah, I know. That was supposed to be the whole rumor that he was part of that whole.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See,
I don't
think
know.
I don't want
Yeah.
to mention because we'll get
Yeah. See, what's funny is that I think the Mayans were right, but our translation was wrong. Instead of it being 2012, it was 2021. So they just flipped those last 2 months numbers. So next year might be
dyslexic
the
Mayan.
end of the world.
Don't
Yeah.
say this thing. You've answered the question if things could get worse.
Dyslexic
Does-
Mayan.
Does that mean
the
Yeah.
world.
does that mean John Cusack's going to star in another crappy disaster movie?
Yeah, he's got to They have to remake 2012 to get the date correct.
We thought all this time it was 2012, but it wasn't. John Cusack is back in the sequel that everybody didn't ask for.
The sequel nobody asked for.
Stargate.
2021.
Honey, you told us that 7 years ago. We shouldn't panic. I know, but that was 7 years ago. When someone
It's gonna
tells you
get worse.
when someone tells you not to panic, in 7 years you panic.
Roland Emmerich comes back after his ID4 debacle.
The only way he can beat 2021 is by playing In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel and holding the boombox over his head.
Well,
Did-
the slug line to 2021 has to be called Blackjack Comes to an End.
Yes, Annabelle Morales Sanchez. Yes, Tom Hanks did get the beer bug, and his wife Rita Wilson, but they recovered.
Oh, that's what he says. That's what he says when he's holding up he holds up the boombox and he goes, "Blackjack, motherfucker." Click. In your eyes.
Don't you know you're gonna shock the monkey?
Wrong song. Sorry, you just pissed 2020 off more. It hates that Peter Gabriel song.
And you said there'd be nothing to talk about.
Okay, this actually get us into our first story, I think. Stargate 404 sends $2. Didn't Hamill have a hard time finding work post Star Wars? Rob's
Yes, he
hard
did.
at work on a video. Even though he's
Yes.
on vacation, folks, he's actually still at work.
It's a working vacation. Yes, technically he did. Mark Hamill, oddly enough, he did find success on the screen. Not on the screen, on the stage after Star Wars. He played the Elephant Man and he played Amadeus in the stage production of Amadeus. Amadeus.
You're a Danish?
I'm a Danish. Yes, but Mark
I thought you
Hamill.
were a Swede.
Years never. No.
Well, he had a weird 8 years after Star Wars. That's what I
He made like what, one movie?
No, he made a bunch actually.
He made it.
Well, after Return of the Jedi, he made a few, but like in between all that, and then like, then he just got into voice work and stuff outside of a few random
my God,
TV stuff and shit.
He's worked nonstop in voice
since
voice
91,
work.
I think, right?
Well, I just want to preface this whole thing because like that's kind of, I mean, not to give it away too much, but that's kind of the whole point of the video is Miss Daisy feels like she's entitled to so much more than she's gotten, isn't that right?
I feel like I should be a big star at the Star Wars. I feel like I should have the world on a string. I am Daisy Ridley. Don't you know that?
Star Wars.
I am the Star Wars. Yeah.
That's because she's rich. She's a rich, spoiled princess.
I am not rich. I am very well off, mind you. And why does Daisy Ridley sound like one of Monty Python in a dress?
Is she going to try to feed me spam?
I don't like spam, Macarandum. Do I have to upload a Daisy Ridley icon now?
Spam.
Hello, Mrs. Robinson. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Don Robinson.
I don't know who did this originally. Was it? I don't know. I'm just going to grab this one from the blast. It's the newest one. They're getting lucky tonight. They're getting some free advertisement.
But
Blast
seriously,
says Star Wars. Daisy Ridley reveals rejections of roles after Rise of Skywalker.
well, look at the contempt on her face, though. I mean, that's why, Daisy. Look at, I mean, Jesus, Jesus. You're not doing yourself any favors.
That's just probably her mid transition of smiling.
Oh, we can't hear it though. You didn't share the audio. No.
Didn't share the audio.
I'm glad we couldn't hear it.
Boomer.
I
I
thought
don't think we
shared
want
the
to hear
audio.
it.
It might be really, really quiet though. Here we go.
Daisy.
Oh, there it is now. Yeah, what's this time?
You know what could stop you, Daisy? Bad acting. That's what could stop you.
Well, and wasn't she actually okay in that train movie?
Murder on the Orient Express.
Agatha Christie
Yeah, I
movie,
like
yeah.
that. I liked her. I liked her in that.
She's a very fine actress. She just had to work with a terrible production. I mean, she's also has the other part too, and this is a Hollywood stigma that won't go away anytime soon, unfortunately, is that women who are actors have a very weird type of shelf life. They have one where they're young, and then there's a mid part where they're not hireable, and then they can come back to play older characters in more limited roles. So it's not the same like male roles where someone like Tom Cruise or Will Smith could be acting pretty much continuously since they were teenagers all the way until they're not dead pretty much.
I'm picturing Daisy Ridley walking into her agent's office and saying, "But do I have to take the part? Listen, honey, I'm giving you your choice of roles here. Now is it gonna be Alpo or Purina?" I'm above this.
Well,
like,
here's the thing that was funny about this story is, first we've seen this and we're like, oh, well, of course, because I'm sitting here thinking the only movie I remember in is that Agatha Christie movie, right? Yeah. And then Scripps, he pops back and he's like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. She's been in 26 roles in the last 4 years?
Yeah.
20, she's been over 2 dozen roles in the last 6 or so years. That's pretty good.
And that's what I was comparing to Mark Hamill's one stint in Corvette Summer the whole time. I don't think he did anything else besides Star Wars in that period.
No.
He was in MacGyver. I think he did Village of the Damned with Christopher Reeve.
That was years later, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, that was
Carrie,
all. He had a little resurgence there at the late 80s, early 90s, and then after Flash and stuff, he just buried himself into voice acting. He did that video game, and that was all I remember.
Wing Commander.
Oh yeah, he did Wing Commander and stuff like that. Well, a lot of the voice acting he did was more out of convenience because his kids were starting to be.
Oh, and he wrote a comic and he did all this other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he had other things that could. Yeah.
Oh, for God's
and Carrie
sake.
Fisher went straight into writing, and she got her pseudo biography film done.
She did do a bit more acting than Hamill did.
Carrie Fisher was in Hannah and Her Sisters, which was actually the to this day it's still the biggest grossing Woody Allen movie of all time.
Well, not just that. Carrie had not just between her writing and all that stuff. Carrie did pretty well, but it was on more. Carrie had to kind of. How do I put this? It was almost in spite of her being Princess Leia that Carrie succeeded. She had to break out of this whole thing, and I'm sure it seemed like she had a little while there where she couldn't quite find her footing. And then she did a lot of comedies, like The Burbs and some other stuff like that, and a lot of the writing. And then
she was dealing with bipolarism and drug addiction
and all that
time,
shit.
And was still able to, still kind of be a little somewhat involved in Hollywood, which is incredible for her.
But Carrie Fisher, there's a long list of roles that she did not get, though. She was going on auditions.
Right. That's what I'm saying. She had a rough time getting past the whole Princess
Leia
thing. That's my point is, she was the one who probably had it the worst in that aspect, but she rose above it all and kind of just created herself through her tragedy.
She kept on pushing. That was the other part too, right? So as soon as Star Wars was completed and they're trying to look at her oh, she's the legacy of Hollywood, because again, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, and I can't remember his first name, but other Fisher.
Eddie Fisher.
Eddie Fisher, yeah, thank you. She was that legacy. So there was always that pushback. I think there were stories where she auditioned for Shampoo and nobody wanted to hire her because she was Debbie Reynolds' kid, and till someone in production said, "Just she's the best one that read for the part. Let's just put her in the."
I think
movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis had the same problem, and that's where she was lucky that, again, too, though, with her name and some other things, like it didn't exactly like, as long as people didn't know who she was, it would help. But like, because she's not even who John Carpenter wanted for Halloween.
Yeah.
He wanted I can't remember now, but it's in our video. Matt G sent $2. Can't Daisy apply for a transfer to the MCU? I don't know if it works like that in Disney. Can she just? I think somebody else has been trying for a while for a transfer, and it just ain't working out. Well, I don't know if we call it a transfer. She just wants to dominate everything.
I just see people.
Captain People.
Captain People, that's right. I don't know, who would you see as Daisy? I do think Daisy would be better off getting the fuck away from the superhero business.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what she's griping about here. I mean, I don't know if you want to get into this article at all, Rob, but I mean, you're the one who's been writing our version of this story or our take on it. And
Daisy, go talk to Jake Lloyd, okay? So just shut the fuck up. That's all I got to say.
I mean, you got a point there. I mean, I look at it like this because at first I'm like, oh yeah, well of course she's in shitty Star Wars movies. Who would want to hire her? And then, like I said, to reiterate, when scripts like she's been in a half a dozen roles, what's she bitching about?
I got about 6 to 11 roles in the works that we know about as well.
I got her on IMDb up right now. Okay. All right. Let's just start with The Force Awakens. Okay, she was in a couple. Okay, well, she was in a couple things before that. Let me see if I can screen share here.
Short films don't always count, so.
No, I know.
I can bring it up too.
Neither does porn. So. Okay, I got it.
Oh, actually, that came up quicker than yours usually does.
Well, it's because I use a different browser. Okay, so you got 2015 Scrawl. You have a TV series called Mr. Selfridge. It's probably
that was all before she was in Star Wars. So go after Star Wars.
Okay, you have a couple of video games. Murder on the Orient Express came out the same year as
she was in Peter Rabbit. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Ophelia.
She played the same voice in Flopsy Turvy, which was a sequel I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, or is that like a video game or TV show? Oh, it's a short. Never mind. I see it.
The Dawn of Art video game narrator, 12 minutes video game. But look, she got 1, 2, 1. Let's just say 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got 5 things in the can.
Plus that, which one's that sequel to the Agatha Christie one?
Oh, River on the Nile?
Yeah.
Death on the Nile?
Death on the Nile, yeah. Oh,
why isn't even that on there? Is she not in it?
I don't think her character's
in it. It's a different. It's different people because it's a different character.
Okay.
Poirot's the only one who is.
Well, that's why she feels this way. She's making a movie called A Woman of No Importance. That's your own fault.
Lord.
What can I say? I mean, Joey Bryant sent $5 though, and I love his icon there of John Candy from Family Vacation, where I just can't did exactly what I hate when people do.
Well, there's The Great Outdoors, which is, and then there's National Lampoon's.
I know, but that's him from Vacation. Sorry, folks, the park's closed. Mouse out front should have told you. That's not a real gun. That's a BB gun. It probably wouldn't even break the skin. Next movie coming soon. Daisy Ridley. What is that? A state? What is that?
What?
I can't see what that picture is. The video camera I see.
Oh, it's a van, I think.
Is it? Oh, like a porn video, like in the van, in the back of the van.
Like the bang bus.
Oh no, wait! It's a casting couch. It's a couch and a video camera. Got it.
Either way, I kind of figured that was what I was getting at. Thank you, Joe. You tried, but it's like really, really small on my screen. I can't see what it is. It looks almost like a squished Boba Fett helmet. I don't know what it is. Sorry about that. It's not your fault. It's a couch. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. Oh shit. That is too funny, but I don't know. I can't. I swear this is because she comes from the participation generation, the one the entitlement.
Well, her uncle's a celebrity as well, and I think that's how she got involved in acting.
You know, Daisy, let me tell you something. Do you know how long it took Sean Connery to have a career after he was James Bond?
You mean I didn't?
The
No,
Rock?
you. I mean, geez, until pretty much the Untouchables. I mean, geez. I mean,
He was in Highlander.
It was in Highland. It took.
And wasn't he in that other?
Zardos?
Not just that. There was another one too, like an Excalibur one or something like that.
He was an No, he wasn't an Excalibur.
No, but there was one he was in like that. Was one? Or am I thinking of
Robin? He was in Robin and Marion.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
But it took him It took him a long time to shake that, to be able to shake that image.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. I mean, Harrison Ford actually had to wait a few years to really be able to become a bankable name.
Kind of, but not really. Like after Star Wars, he was. Well, that was why he didn't want to do Return of the Jedi, because he had the Jedi and Indiana Jones, and after that, he had all these offers. Like he can just be himself. He didn't have to worry about the whole Han Solo thing. So that was the last thing he wanted to go back to.
After Firewall, you kind of really have to recheck your career.
Well, yeah, but I mean, after that though, I know he did like one or two things, but then he had Witness in '86. What did he do before Witness?
There was The Client. Was he in The Client?
That was after, because he had other Indiana Jones right after Return of the Jedi.
There was also Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, Blade Runner. That's right. I forgot. That was another one I was trying to think of too. And he also had something else in there too.
Well, so Mark Hamill got racked up in a car accident though, 5 months after shooting Star Wars. I mean, so and you can tell there's a couple. I don't think it was. I'm not sure if it was.
Well, that's why he got attacked by the Wampa in the movie. So
yeah, that was that whole thing.
But you could tell though that he'd undergone serious facial reconstruction.
Yeah, he was in Excalibur, according to the chat. That's what I thought.
I don't think he was.
He was in Excalibur along with a young Helen Mirren. Unless he's talking about Patrick Stewart. Because I thought he played like Camelot. That's one I was saying. I thought he played like King Arthur before.
He played Richard the Lionhearted in very briefly in.
That was Robin Hood. I know that.
Thieves,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the early '80s. It's like I don't feel like Sean Connery ever necessarily.
He played Robin Hood. Yeah, he played Robin Hood in Robin and Marion.
I know, but I mean, he played and then he played King Richard. Whatever. Hey, we're getting off track here. We're talking about Daisy Ridley. Anyway,
Liam Neeson was in Excalibur.
Speaking of Congo, what did Rob find?
I found a copy of Congo in the Goodwill store. The first thing I said to myself is, Frank, you're giving me a sign, aren't you? Frank has said, "You
didn't you?"
That's right, I did, Frank.
How much?
What was it? $1? I think
those dirty motherfuckers. It's worth 3 times that. 3 times that.
But it's a collector's item, Frank. It's an original pressing.
A what?
It's a
what
first.
You're talking about. All I know is I'm not going to see any money off it now. You dirty motherfucker. How am I supposed to buy Coke?
Whoa, bro. Be cool, man. Be cool.
What the hell is that?
Dang, man. Just let's smoke one and I'll get along, man.
Who let Chong in here? What the fuck is going on?
No, bro. I'm just like the doctor, bro. Yeah.
I see 2 doctors. They're multiplying.
That's right, man.
Keep your fingers out of my butt. I'm going to do some Coke later.
Whoa. Okay. Don't forget to invite me. What's up, everybody?
Frank don't like doctors. Hey, Art, how you doing, man? What is that picture you got here? Oh, is that you as the script doctor?
Hey, guys. I got a glove. Can I check your prostate?
Why do you think Frank ran? You guys are obsessed with sticking fingers up people's butts.
Duh.
Mr. Wolverine 007 sends in $5. Our good buddy. Good Bill and Ted Roundtable. Guys, I enjoyed the movie. A few parts I'd tweak, but overall a worthy third. Yeah, I mean, it has its issues, obviously. It could have used $10 million more and some other things, but hey, I mean, it could have been a hell of a lot fucking worse. I mean, we all enjoyed it.
Somebody.
Did somebody mention something about putting something up someone's butt? Oh, oh my.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's the guy that says, "Oh my, man."
Yes,
Whoa.
it is.
George
Oh.
Takei, welcome.
How are you, Thomas? Oh,
I'm glad you're over there.
Yes. All right. I won't be for very long. Oh my.
Yo, Takei, hit this, bro.
It's okay to be Takei.
How fitting. Sheik Queen says, OMG, there's 420 people here.
It's not a coincidence, man. They're listening.
That's right. They are
Welcome,
listening.
Howard. Late to the
Ooh.
show, but always welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, I can only stay for like 20 minutes or whatever, but we just finished dinner and I figured I'd pop. I feel terrible that I want to come to this beautiful channel and I never get a chance to. So I said,
well, we got to line up one of these days and we'll have you on. And
oh, yeah.
Willie Woodward has an update. He goes, Google Play has Congo for $10. How's Frank supposed to get his Coke for $1?
$1 Coke, count me in.
No. I get like $1.50 off that one. I just don't see anything off that lousy dollar you spent at the Goodwills, loser.
We'll make it up. We'll make it up to Frank somewhere.
That's awesome. Well, what's going on?
No. I see what you're worth to me.
Oh, God.
Dirty bastard.
I mean, I know I haven't showered in like 3 days, but come on, man.
No, it's Rob. He's really ruffled his feathers.
Oh,
I guess he's really upset. And Rob all thought he was going to be happy about it. No, I told Rob to buy it. I'm like, you better buy that.
Congo Blu-ray, $9.99.
Because eventually we're going to have to start giving them away.
At the
Well, eventually we'll have enough copies. Maybe like we'll start giving them away or something.
How many copies of this movie do you own?
I personally only own
No, this is the second.
one. What's up, Mecca? You sound far away.
Hi, Mecca. Good talks.
Orange Board says hi.
I'm coming back to my second.
Oh
So,
my.
10 miles away for a reason.
I'm really confused here, man. What's like?
I know.
You guys, you can't throw this stuff at a stoner, man. You gotta like dip his toes in the water. Wait, I'm confused. What's going on here?
It's not in 4K yet, Sander. We got to make that.
I know. So I have something you can dip your toes into. Oh my.
Hello. Sorry, I had to say hi from the other mic to confuse the plebs.
Which I'll show you.
I consider myself confused.
I think we got really good cocaine in Congo.
No offense to anybody in chat. Now I feel bad because I said the wrong word.
What did you say?
I said to confuse the plebs.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Definitely confused, man.
Ouch.
I love that movie.
Oh, that reminds me. We've got a new puppy. But we got to name it.
Puppy! Let me see him.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Phantom Menace sent it to me on
Puppy.
Twitter. But we don't have a name for him yet.
Whoa,
So
she said puppy a lot really fast.
I'll put the link in Twitter. That way you guys can head on over here.
Freaking cute.
He's walking like a potato. I said 0 fucks to give, puppy, something like that. He's just like, I got my shits.
No fucks given, puppy.
Puppy Travolta. Just put some Staying Alive behind him.
Nope. He's just like, whatever they're saying over there, he's just like,
I would spend an obscene amount of money on that puppy right now.
right? He'd have to stay that way the rest of his life.
I'm willing to spend enough money to make that happen. Look how cute that
I'd
looks.
be worried I'd accidentally grab him thinking he was like a duster.
I mean, you can barely see his legs.
So here, I'm gonna throw the link in there, and you guys go over to Twitter and post your is it gonna be what kind of puppy is gonna be? And for those who may not be are a little bit newer here, because we do have a little bit bigger crowd here tonight. We're talking about, this is what we do. We have our maximum effort puppy.
Journey.
The maximum effort puppy.
Oh, my favorite. Oh no.
Then we got lazy puppy.
Lazy.
And then we got where's our classic?
My
old
favorite. My favorite.
original minimum.
Yes. Look at him. I love him. He's my favorite.
Papa.
So head on over to Twitter and help us name this new puppy.
I like
we got
no fucks given puppy.
I like no fucks given puppy. That's where I'm leaning because he's just like, yep, I'm cool. I got no fucks to give.
He's like
Check him
even
out.
smiling.
He's got a great smile too. That's such an adorable dog.
Cute dog.
He's just strutting puppy. That's the other one I like.
It's
He's
really just like a
that.
dog's head with legs. Like there's nothing else to it.
I mean, like you almost don't know where it begins and ends.
Oh, now culture shows up. Now everybody shows up.
Oh dang!
Am I late?
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. We're just. Oh, I got it.
Congratulations, Tom! You officially have the Hair de Menace on your stream.
That is true. The Hair de Menace is here.
We're looking for people for help. Head on over there. Oh, we forgot Fenton. I am so sorry. I apologize to Fenton.
Right.
Fenton.
I think Fenton is like basically what Ryan Johnson did to the Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's hilarious. Fenton.
Like my movie, like my movie, like my movie. Your Stone Theory sucks.
Yeah,
Jesus
pretty much.
Christ.
Squat. Squats, 0 squats given. Maybe. I don't know. Head on over to Twitter. Let us know. We can't really spend too much time on that, or we'll be here all damn day. But welcome to the show culture, and also Ords again. We didn't really get a chance to formally
Thank you, sir.
welcome everybody, but it's always fun to have new faces and well, not new faces, but regular faces back, I should say.
Familiar faces. Yeah.
Faces. That's what I was looking for. Rob, thank you so much. This is why we're Bill and Ted. You complete me.
People other than us.
Other than
That's why
us,
I'm.
yeah.
That's why Andre has me write a lot of shit too.
Yeah.
I'm a veritable wordsmith. I'm like
Okay.
Kanye. Yes. I'm like Kanye
Are
West.
you eating
I'm a
ice
very
cream?
good. No, I'm eating chicken.
Okay. I was gonna get pissed at you if you're eating ice cream.
I'm a lyrical
Ooh, ice cream
genius.
sounds good.
It does.
Hey, I had shrimp enchiladas for dinner. That was pretty good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That does sound pretty good.
it was slamming, man. I got a pretty damn good cook.
I think I'm having homemade pizza tonight.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Wolverino 7 sends in another $5. Thank you so much. You know, I do have Congo on VHS. I used to. You just what you just sent me could probably buy you like 3 copies of Congo on VHS. Probably. I wonder if the VHS of Congo has gone up in price on eBay because of us.
Damn it, Tom! Now I have to buy ice cream. Thanks.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about ice cream. Oh well.
Well, I was about to say Frank doesn't get any money from that either. So
No. Fat Steven Seagal in the house, beating up some Alex Kurtzman. I love how he keeps changing his little icons. But I say he's lost some weight. He's got to get fat again. Show the Tom Brocchini. Oh shit! I forgot all about that.
Yes,
It's
I want to see
amazing.
that. I love
Hang
Fat
on,
Steven
hang on.
Seagal.
I'll get it. I'll get it. You guys can talk amongst yourself. I'll give you a topic. Kumquats and are just little orange grapes.
Like, don't we need to figure out who the best memer is in the Fandom Menace here? Like, we have
Ooh,
Fat
that's a
Steven
good
Seagal, ABC. I
Apollo
think
Patriot.
Yeah, Apollo Pay. I mean, we've got these guys.
Chan's a real tough act to follow, but yeah.
That's true. Yeah, those
They're
are
the
amazing
meme to
video
menace.
memes.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
The meme to menace. I like it.
The fandom memers. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, the fandom memers. Yeah.
Where the hell is Fat Steven Seagal at here? I know he's.
They should all do a stream together. Just saying.
You guys don't understand. I get so many messages. Everything gets lost. This is why I've told people where if you won stuff from Tom's shit, please get back a hold of me because your message is so lost. Oh, he didn't send it to me in private message. Where did you send it, or did you tag me in it? I don't remember. Now I got to go way back down to my tags.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got
That's
another
right.
puppy.
That's right.
Ooh.
I think I think Phantom Menace is just sending us puppies left and right. Here's another
There
sleepy.
could be
puppy.
worse problems. There could be
Sleepy
worse problems.
puppy. He's just like, oh.
That's chillaxed. That's chillaxed puppy.
Chillaxed puppy.
It's like, oh yeah.
I
Zen
can't
puppy.
take a Zen puppy. I was gonna say I don't want to do this anymore, puppy, but that works too.
Passed out puppy.
All right, I'll share it. Everybody, we gotta. Here, I'll see here. All right, let me go back here to the original tweet. So, I'm learning how to tweet.
Oh boy.
Another puppy to name. I'm doing it right, right? It's like I'm riding a bike.
I guess so. I guess so.
I sent it to the internet. It's out there now. All right.
The internet called and they don't want it.
Oh
They
shit.
would like you to stop sending them things.
Okay, now I got to get the one that I shared here so I can share it to. Okay, here we go. I got a copy.
Should we show off Brie Larson's baby picture too?
You got to look Brie Larson's baby picture.
What?
Ew.
Portrait, Rob.
Yeah, show. Artist rendering a portrait she had done. When we actually found it. We found it.
My DM. He probably did already. Hang on, let me check.
Got us a
There
win
you go.
because you break
I
it.
throwed it up. I throwed it up in my share.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you got it already?
Yep, throwed it up in my share.
Oh, there we go. That's a lot of man, baby. I'm ready to wrestle. We got Bill and Ted in the lake too. See, they're just chilling. Why are they got their clothes on in the lake is beyond me. And those are those really expensive figures, actually.
It kind of looks like your face is melting off that body.
Those are like those
Yeah.
$400. They're not. I can't remember the name of the company that made them. Robert Meyer Burnett was just telling us about them.
Bill and Ted just in the water, like waving
Yeah,
at you.
those are those like $400 fucking figures, man. I can tell just
The resin ones.
Oh, Hot Toys.
Not Hot Toys. It's another company that's making them, but they look amazing as shit. Goddess of Whim 2003 sends in $2. Thank you so much. Kazoo Break, hit it, Rob. Don't encourage him. Are you? You don't think he has it with him? Uh-oh.
Mr. Wolverine.
Culture Casino. What the fuck?
Oh, guess we got to do it. Hold on a second.
What? What happened? Oh, hi.
Oh, Jesus.
He said, "Oh, hi."
Okay, here we go. And she had this paint. Oh my god. Oh my god, is that pretentious as fuck?
So what are the chances of this painting being haunted? I mean, this little girl is just staring at you, judging you. It's like she's already disappointed in your your decisions, your life decisions.
That's the painting they based the Omen on.
It's Brie Larson's baby pictures. Already,
It does look like her.
she's already
Oh, I thought you were telling the truth.
It's got that resting bitch face.
$225. This girl
that?
can go home with you.
That is creepy shit. I would not hang that in my
How much was that?
Telling me what they didn't like about the Marvel and what they made for him.
It was $225.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's how much oil was used to paint that. That's why it's that cost. You're buying it at cost.
It's not really Brie Larson, but I get what
No,
you're
it's just an angry baby doll.
fuck
That'll-
Culture Casino.
That would be the warmest fire I've ever had.
Hello.
By the way,
I'm
happy
Justin
birthday.
McProper.
Happy
I'm Justin
birthday.
McProper,
Have a
script doctor.
birthday recently? Yes, he did.
Yeah, I
Happy
did.
birthday, Justin.
Well,
Happy
you're
birthday.
welcome.
Epstein would buy. oh, that's a joke about pedophilia. We don't do that.
Yeah, no pedophiles here.
No, I'm kidding. Oh shit, that was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
And
Nailed
Fat Steven Seagal says, blame Tom. He won't give me a headshot for the meme. Pierre Channel asked for him if he'd asked for him, I'd give anybody anything they need. You want to well, up to maybe, well, it depends on who you are. If you ask for dick pic, I might.
Did you get Mr. Wolverine? Did you get Mr. Wolverine's super chat?
Did I miss another one? Oh, I did. Here it
Yeah,
is.
it was when your brokini picture popped up.
That's because I must have just skipped past it accidentally. Sorry about that. Bleach, meat eyes.
Straight up.
It's not even my body. You guys think that's bad? You should see if I actually had that on. Nobody.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Ooh. I will if you want me to, I guess. But
Let's do it.
You buy it.
It's a man slang. It's so weird.
Yeah, those things are weird. It's like a man bun.
God, as a vice president request for Goddess or Women. Hey,
Like, why is it I can picture Rob as one of those like one man bands, like where he's just got all kinds of stuff on his back and he's just like telling jokes and making noises and shit.
You're fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
Standing on a street corner somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. You inspire me, Rob.
What's
I'm
OnlyFans?
glad I do something for somebody.
Never heard of OnlyFans. What's that?
Oh, you know what it is. Don't lie.
No, I don't.
We're gonna start you an account, and you're gonna take pictures
Is
in
that
your
where like
bikini.
you get nude photos of like celebrities or something?
Well, I wouldn't call them celebrities.
Oh.
I mean, I would call them, people.
It's for thoughts that like to take off their clothes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not the same thing.
I don't know if they like to take out their clothes, but they want money for doing it. Basically,
You guys really think I'm a thought?
Do I think you're a thought? No, but I think you'd make a perfect one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd simp for you, Tom.
I don't believe you.
That's a good one.
I do. I don't know. I think I'm a little higher class than that. I'd be like a high class hooker. I asked all night on Lorraine's stream, and you ignored me. Like when did I? What? I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. You see, Fat Steven Skull. When I'm on other people's streams, I stay out of the chats as much as I can, just because I get wrapped up in too much shit. The only time I really, really, really pay attention to the chat is if I'm like on my streams. And that's just because I want to be more courteous to my hosts. And like I said, I get distracted easy, like a dog to shiny things or a man to a squirrel. Did I say
like
that?
squirrels.
You know what I meant.
No, you said it very peculiar, but it also kind of fit.
I know,
So-
I did it on purpose. I am a bit traumatized from my visit to Flicksbean, and Az will not talk to me anymore.
Oh no.
No,
Wait,
I
what?
really didn't see you, Fat Steven Seagal. I'll hop in and say hi, and then I usually pop out of the chat. And some people, and I know you guys can't see it from your side, but here, like this is what I'm going to give you guys a little inside tour of what it looks like here. How do I share my? Here we go. Like this is what it looks like on our end. Okay, like, and some people don't always have the chat up in their deal. So like,
yeah, because you're managing your brand stuff. You're trying to,
yeah. But I mean, even but my point is like when we're on the show, but some people don't even have that chat going. So like, unless they do, then I generally don't see the chat unless whatever they're popping up. That's all I was saying. And again, it's just to be more courteous. And then when I'm on things like High Council, I try to a little bit more. But like when we're on like Friday Night Tights and shit, that stuff goes by so fast. You have no idea.
Oh
Like,
man, it's insane.
it's insane.
Friday Night Tights. I almost don't even bother like putting anything in the chat because it's never gonna get seen.
Not really. I mean, and Gary, he feels bad, but it's like he can't even really look at the chat because he just ain't got the time. You're doing so many things, and if you stop for 1 second to pay attention to the chat, then you just get sidetracked so easily.
I'm starting to get that problem at like 20 people viewing my streams at a time. It gets difficult to keep up with the chat.
Back because I like to. And here's the thing, guys. Okay, I'll announce this here. I'm going to start doing a show on my own. I'm going to try it. I got a name for it now, so I've decided to announce it. I don't know when it's going to be, but it'll just be me talking to you guys, the chat, and it's going to be called Tomfoolery.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Anyway,
yeah.
So Squirrel says Mr. That's me. Squirrel. That's my dog. Okay, this is a funny fucking story. There's 2 squirrels that live in the adjacent yards we have here in the backyard. And I swear, and I shit you not, they are teasing my dog.
Oh, they know it.
Oh yeah, squirrels are assholes, man.
They know exactly how far she can go, and they will go just that far, and then they will sit there and they will stand up on their hind legs, and it's like they're laughing at her and mocking her. And one of these days, I want to just be like, you know what, girl, I'm gonna let you go without the leash, and those little motherfuckers won't know what hit them.
my mom's got a Chiweenie that kills squirrels in the backyard.
Oh, well, I'm sure you know, or I got a big ass fucking husky German Shepherd mix. She tear them sons of bitches a new asshole.
One bite.
Yeah. Oh, did somebody brought it up in the chat actually? Did anybody? This is the end of the X-Men verse. Did anybody bother to watch New Mutants?
I've heard mixed reviews, mostly good. But like it's a lot of like it's semi woke, but it's not too not too bad on that front. As far as it being good, I've heard a little mixed in like, I've heard there's some characterizations that if you're a big fan of, you're not gonna like. There's the whole Bob McLeod fucking controversy. I don't know if any of you guys had really touched on that on any of your channels, but
that the kid, this kid's not Brazilian looking enough.
Oh, not just that, they misspelled his fucking name in the credits.
Oh,
the creator.
Jesus. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ha.
You know, they had 3 years to fix it.
Oh my God.
I was going to say, here's my thing.
And simultation.
If we've waited this long for this movie, there's no excuse for it not to be good.
Or perfect.
That's
kind of where I'm at with it.
Here's the weird thing is there's some people calling bullshits on the reshoots. I've heard people calling bullshits on because remember, we reported they were going to go back and reshoot a bunch of shit, even though they had a test screening that tested positively after it came out. And they had a movie that was kind of scary-ish, Nightmare on Elm Street style, and they had kids in it. They wanted to go with the hard R. Remember, guys?
Yeah.
And then later the director's like, oh, no, that never happened. And if they had reshoots, I was no part of it. Well, now there's people saying you can tell there's clear reshoots in this movie.
Jesus.
So I don't know who's fucking
lie?
lying. Like, yeah, that's the thing. So who's fucking lying here? As Matt G, of course, this goes along with what you're talking about here. As we celebrate the end of the X-Men universe. Yeah. And then I heard there's like no real connection to fuck you, Steven.
All right, I'm going over to subscribe to that.
OnlyFans.com/tomfoolery. That's what the new the address is going to be.
Oh, I love you. I love you, Steven.
Tom Boomery.
And then, of course, Fat Steven Seagal comes back again with a 1-2 punch. Says, I vote for it to be called Tom Boomery. You'll have to think about that. I have to think about that. You got to gain some weight, though, first, sir. Definitely got to gain some weight. Yeah, it was made back when there's like a lesbian couple, but I guess it's not that badly handled. But outside of that, I guess just the story doesn't really lend itself to a lot of wokeness. It's not a word, but I just made it a word. Grammarly thinks woke's not a word or in the wrong place. So I know they go for a lot. I got big moves. I got like Dolly Parton style moves.
Quit turning me on, bro.
I know you should see me in a bra. Or in a bra.
No, it's called the man's ear.
The man,
or the bro.
Man's ear.
The man's ear. Yeah, that's good reference there.
Oh shit!
That's hilarious.
Is that your woman in the background there yakking?
Who? Mine?
Yeah.
No. What are you talking about?
Tell her to get up on the mic. Is she going to say some shits?
No, she's not even in a fucking
okay,
room.
well then that's somebody else's. Somebody got somebody in the background.
All right, look, I'm going to mute right now.
No, I believe you, Words. I was just asking.
What'd I do?
Oh no, somebody was in the background talking to somebody else. Was you muted? We were hearing it through Rob's. Is that what it was? I don't know. We heard some woman's voice in the background.
Okay.
Someone's hiding in my apartment.
Someone's hiding a woman.
Very clearly, Mecca and Rob are in the same location. Am I getting
No, the hooker that came over was trying to get an extra.
I got a women's soccer team in my basement. I know what a woman's voice in the distance sounds like.
I'm too stoned for this right now, guys. Come on.
I don't have a basement. That's the weird thing.
Just stay awake. Just stay awake, Words. That's all we ask.
Oh, you know what, culture?
I heard you fell asleep.
I didn't. Never happened. There's no proof.
I heard. I heard a rumor.
You heard a
Kinda like
rumor.
the same- I keep hearing this
It's
persistent
on Scott's
rumor.
stream, actually, I think.
Gary
right?
owned a comic book shop. Next thing, somebody's like, "Oh, and did you hear? Ords fell asleep on a stream."
Oh no, that never happened, man. I don't know who told
Oh,
you that, but
Just rumors.
yeah.
Just rumors.
Don't listen to Script Doctor. He's a liar.
Tell the truth
That's
ever.
strong.
I think it was Culture who said it, though.
I mean, no. Script Doctor's cool. Culture's the liar. Sorry.
Oh. All right then.
You got to keep your shit straight here, Ords.
I don't know, man. I got like people talking like Mecca's teleporting to Rob's place. Rob's going over to Tom's. Culture's. I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
We're in multiple dimensions at once.
Keshi, come on, man.
We're through the
Hashtags.
looking glass, people.
So okay, so I've been dubbed Ord snores. Okay, there's it's not Ord's bored. It's Ord snores. Okay.
Oh shit! Have you ever? Oh, this reminds me of you every time.
Sir, how high are you? No, officer, you're wrong. It's high. How are you?
I
God,
love
I
it.
love that one
totally
every time.
Ords.
That's totally me.
For sure. Dude, that is such that one's so great. I love that every single time.
That one's good.
That one gets rarely played, but I love that one.
I'm glad you saved it for me, Big Bo.
Yes, yes. We'll call that the Ords special.
Nice.
That's how Ords gets out of a driving ticket.
Maximum effort Ords.
Maximum effort Ords. Yes, there you go. Ooh.
Oh, he's on his game there, right?
That's fun.
What's even better is if you could actually confuse the officer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Have a good day.
Like pull a Ricky from Trailer Park Boys and stuff.
I was like, when the cop pulls him over at Cheech and Chong, who do you guys want?
I think we need to get there and film some stuff, man.
You gonna eat the rest of that hot dog, man? It was one of the best parts of that movie. And that cop, nobody ever remembers that bit, but it's just like he's coming up because he's so fucking stoned from following him. He just comes up on the window and he's just like, "What do you guys want?"
Classic.
Sister Hero, thank you so much. Catching a live stream. That's awesome. Sending in an Australian $10 super chat. We love you so much. It's always nice to get to see you here. Mr. Wolverine, man, you keep sending in super chats as well. We have just entered the Midnight Zone. Picture a place where Rob does weird voices and plays with a slide whistle and a kazoo. And Tom never knows what to do. You've entered the Midnight Zone.
Don't forget, Ords tries to figure out where everybody's located at. Jesus Christ. I'm still
like,
baffled.
Can I use like the force or echolocation? What's going on here?
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's great. That's great.
We got that like greatest hits Cheech and Chong movie, Mr. Miles, a couple years back. Did you ever see that, Ords?
No. I did see them live a handful of years ago, though.
I seen them last year live. They're fucking amazing. They still
it
got
was great. Yeah, it was the Get It Legal tour.
it.
It was kind of the first time I ever seen people outside of a theater, like performing theater, smoking weed, and the cops not doing anything about it.
But like they did this animated film a few years back, and it's just basically a greatest hits of all their their best skits, and then there's like one new skit.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It was kind of a letdown because you're like, oh, we're getting a new Cheech and Chong movie. Kinda. I think if Bill and Ted does as well as it's doing from what I'm seeing, between that and what was the other one they just did a couple of years back here? That was another one of these kind of I thought it did okay. I don't remember. Anyway,
here's my question, and maybe you can shed some light onto this topic.
Pee-wee, that's the one I was thinking of.
Which one, Pee-wee?
Yeah, between Pee-wee and like Bill and Ted's, I think since those have done well enough, you never know. We may hear if Cheech and Chong still got one in them, they'll do it.
I'll tell you this. I know. I did video about Cheech and Chong and what they wanted to do next. Possible, at least Cheech has come out and said this in an interview that he would be very interested in doing a Cheech and Chong horror movie.
Well, there was, they were supposed to be in Friday the 13th Part 6.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were totally going to be in the movie. It was going to be Cheech and Chong meet Jason.
See, yeah, we need. I would love to see a Cheech and Chong horror movie, man.
But
that
it
would
never
just be
came to
fantastic.
fruition. But it came very close to happening, I guess.
Well, like I said, man, I know he's expressed. It was funny too because I actually tweeted that out and he tagged him in it, and he actually liked it and shared it out.
That's
but
cool.
But yeah. So he's definitely. I know he's interested in doing some kind of Cheech and Chong horror movie or something.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like between those, like if somebody gets behind it, I'm sure we get one. Like that's probably the only thing stopping them at this point. Like the cartoon was just cheap to make. That's probably why that happened.
Yeah.
To do a live action movie, even like that's the thing. Look at they did Bill and Ted for $20 million, and people were still bitching about the effects. And I got to remind everybody, the effects have always been hokey.
Yeah.
What you're missing is the production design of Part 2. I think that's what a lot of people mean. I could be wrong, but I've talked to a few people where I got around to that's what I think they mean, because one guy specifically said it, like how it looked, how hell looked in this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's because you got to remember they spent $18 million on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in 1991. They spent $20 million on Bill and Ted Face the Music now.
Right,
So
which is way lower.
$18 million went a lot further back then.
It's not half or less than what they spent on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So
Right.
I was in the same boat. Like the effects are shit, and I'll give them that. Like, what are you going to do though? It's a Bill and Ted movie. It's kind of like Back to the Future and stuff. The effects are kind of secondary to the story. I mean, it's just the effects are there to move the story along. So I can forgive that. But again, I totally get. And I agreed. I was kind of disappointed with things like that too. And that's where I've said I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's not nearly as good as the first two. And for reasons like that, just slight reasons, like
my thing with it though, is it never like, I noticed that too. I noticed the the backdrops and stuff. You could
bad blue screen or green screen or whatever.
Right. But it really, the characters were so good. I was more focused on them, and it never really took me out. Like I would notice it, and then something would happen, like something funny or something interesting would happen, and it was like right out of my mind and back into the movie. So I think they did a good job of keeping your attention. And like you said, it's a Bill and Ted movie, man. Like what can you expect with $20 million?
It's not Avengers, for fuck's sake.
Right. I would never expect it to be. I wouldn't watch it.
There's probably some fucking effects that were better in this movie than some of the hackneyed ones in the last Avengers movie. In that final fight, I remember looking really sad.
Well, let me ask you this, man. And like I said, maybe you shed some light on this, but we've got Bill and Ted. Okay. We'll say this. Yes, we're going to do a Cheech and Chong. When are we going to get a Wayne's World?
Wayne's World?
I bet we'll get an Austin Powers before we get a Wayne's World. And
no,
Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, they're polite to each other, but they're not really friends anymore.
Here's the thing. Like, Mike Myers is a dick.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And he done fucked himself out of Austin Powers 4 years ago. And it had something to do with the Sprocket movie, and he fucked over he cost the studio a buttload of money, and then ended up doing Love Guru, and that killed his career. If it wasn't for that, we probably would have gotten Austin Powers 4 eventually. But I really don't think he's interested in doing a Wayne's World 3, and for a lot of the reasons that Script just said, and just because I don't think it was a character he was ever that in love with.
That sucks because they're my two favorite, like aside from Cheech and Chong and the duos, like they're probably my top favorite, man.
Like,
Wayne was the character that got him on SNL.
Yeah, but I think he was
more upset, that character for Scarborough News.
Off the ground, and he probably got more upset that people didn't like the Love Guru and shit like that.
It was okay. I liked that there was hockey in it. That's probably about the funnest thing about it.
But I mean, did I say 9 or 9.5? I said I might go to a 9 if I watch it again, Bad Bunny. But my official rating on the Bounding into Comics, because I had to pick a score, was an 8. So just to be conservative, I guess.
That's a little high.
I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9.
I've heard 7s. That's the thing though. I'll hear like people talk like I do, and I give it an 8 out of 10. And then I'll hear some people just like, this, that, and the other, and they sound like they're nothing but complaining about it. And they're like, but I'll give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's like, that's a damn good rating. I mean, what the fuck do you expect for a Bill and Ted movie? It's not fucking Gone with the Wind. I mean, right. And I get it. I mean, I'm a huge Bill. I just got this in the mail today. I don't want to go on camera because my room's a mess here, but because I've been cleaning shit. But here, let me see if I get my camera. There we go. I got that in the mail today.
Oh, nice.
But like, yeah, I mean, I've got all the comics and all that. I mean, I'm steeped in this shit. Like, people don't understand how many times I seen the movies as a kid. Like, my buddy and I, we used to make movies in our backyard, and all like 3 of our movies that we made over and over again were like ripoffs of Bill and Ted.
Nice.
I'm not even kidding. Like, straight up ripoffs of Bill and Ted. It was, and then it moved from Bill and Ted to Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then, like, I had an idea that I got pissed because Kevin Smith stole the title and then didn't use it anyway. And it was kind of the closest to an original idea I had kind of amalgamized from all the stuff we had worked on over the years and made videos and stuff like that. And it was called Two Dicks or Stupid Dicks or something like that. But then, and it was about 2 detectives, both named Dick or Richard or whatever. And like, that was the whole kind of, it was like that was on its surface. It was stupid, but otherwise it was just kind of a throwback to old noir kind of shit with 2 idiot detectives. And like, then he said, "Oh, I'm making a couple of dicks," or whatever it was. And I'm like, fuck, that's too close to the title. Kind of close to the idea.
If you still want to film that, let me know. I will come up and we will film.
Well, he never did
shit.
use the title, so you never know. Captain Hare sent in $5, says, "Culture Casino, can you make another picture like that, but with Rob and Trevor Noah? Are you trying to make him lose his fucking mind here, Captain Hare? I get it. You want to torture this guy, but I might have to check. That might actually break some Geneva Code laws or something. I don't know.
Don't poke the bear. Don't.
Oh my God, it's Rob and he's pissed. I got a stick. I'm gonna poke him.
Oh, he's really pissed off.
He's really pissed now.
Rob and Biden. Yeah, I could probably do that.
Watch what happens when I stick this stick up his butt.
Oh God.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, hey, I gotta get going, guys.
Take care, Orange. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Absolutely, man. I always have a good time here. You guys enjoy the stream. Mecca, Script, Tom, Culture, Rob. Thank you guys for letting me hang out. And yeah.
And for those who are wondering what a couple of dicks turned into, it was Cop Out. Not that anybody really cared.
It was also going to be a couple of cop suckers.
That's not too bad either. But
well, Tom, you let me know when you want to film that shit. I'm down, man.
Oh, I have to rewrite it now.
Do it. I will push you to do it. That sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, I want to be one of the dicks. I'll fly up that way. I could do that.
You know, it's not here's the thing, guys. I can't say too much because I don't even know everything. But there's been a lot of rumblings about Phantom Menace channels possibly looking into making some films, perhaps. So
yeah, I've heard this too.
Stay tuned on that. Captain here sends in another $2. Did someone say Ghostbusters 2016 stream? We're getting there sooner or later. On that note, I think Ord's Board needs to get going. So take care, brother.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Have you here.
We'll talk to you later.
Take it easy.
Take care. The less likely it looks like we're going to get that super extended cut. I think Rob's just going to have to suffer through the regular extended cut sooner than later. But I'll ask Andre again about that. I promise. Orville Nation, good buddy. How you doing? Great panel tonight, guys. Oh yeah, we haven't had you in a while. You need to hop on here one of these days too. It's been a while.
Yeah, PJ, it's great.
Been way too long, and especially since we're probably going to get closer and closer to Orville stuff too. Eventually here. Although I know you talk about more than Orville, so but yeah, was there anything major else to talk about? Because we can probably wrap this up pretty soon here. What do you guys think?
I think we kind of did a pretty good job covering what the lack of, I guess, information and news that really came out over this weekend. I wonder what's going to happen with the holiday weekend coming up.
Well, I know we're sitting on that Space Jam story till tomorrow morning, so check that out, guys. Rob's heavy at work or hard at work, however you want to put it, on that Daisy Ridley story, which we touched on here, but he's gonna really dig into that. I know Andre's got some things on the table. I'm working on an Exorcist video for him right now. Oh, Cash Kester sent in a $20. I watched Face the Music twice yesterday and mostly agree with your opinions. The only thing that happened that was unexpected was the daughters were the ones that create the song. Togetherness is what the movie's about. I will say this. The daughters really don't create anything. All the daughters do is conduct. And I wouldn't even call that even producing. I mean, they barely do that. And the one line that I have a problem with that everybody's kind of keying in on, and I understand, is, you know, the one line, and I get that. It doesn't make sense though, because it should have been you're part of the band or you're in the band too or something like that, because for all it's worth, I mean, when you watch it again, if you watch it again, notice that I'm going to get into like some kind of, I'm going to have to do some kind of like fucking breakdown because people are not understanding what I'm saying. Some are, some aren't, but I mean, I'm not trying to make people feel like, you know, I know everything, but I feel like people are overlooking small things, like the speech that George Carlin gives at the end of the first movie. He doesn't say anything about a song.
No, he says
It's
your music will unite the world and the planets together. Yeah.
And the planets in harmony. Like, it's basically exactly what we see on screen. So like it's all there. It's just the way people are interpreting it. And I think a part of it is because there is a bunch of shit missing from the movie. I do feel like there is a bunch of scenes that got deleted that help explain some of these other things that I'm talking about better, because I'm not saying that people are stupid or anything like that. I don't want anybody to feel like that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I've seen these movies enough times that I think I can pick up on these things a little bit easier without seeing the deleted scenes. And I'm gonna ask Ed about these when I talk to him again sometime soon, because I'm curious myself, because I feel like there's a whole bunch of shit cut out with the wives. I feel like, not to give too much away, I feel like their whole thing, we're misinterpreting what's going on there. And I think that's because look at the way that certain things happen, and Bill and Ted think they're doing one thing when the wives are actually doing another. I think the wives are actually showing them that it could be worse. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the wives also know where they have to be at a certain time, and that's where it feels like they're trying to get them, but then the future disrupts things. That's where everything gets in the way. Because obviously they weren't, you know, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but anyway. But my point is, like, yeah, I mean, that's a real stretch as far as them actually creating or writing anything. That's my biggest point of contention there. You did not have to send in that bag of a super chat, though. You could have just DM'd me or something. I'd have gladly. I have no problems talking about the movie, especially things that are with the story and stuff like that. Where I'm getting upset is where people, every time they start one place and they always end up with the girls. Like, I got to a point where I was talking to somebody earlier where I was like, girls, 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 girls. That's all it keeps leading to. It's like I keep talking to you guys, and I'm going to own Motley Crue some residuals because I keep singing the song over and over. But no, it's like I can't find too many people who have. I mean, there are legitimate gripes, and I have no problems with those. But the problems I have are when people they try to pretend they have a legitimate gripe, and it always leads back to, well, it's because they're girls. Like, that's what bothers me. And they try to pretend that's not the issue. So it's like they're more in denial of themselves, and they just don't want to listen to what I'm saying. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to sit there and argue all day with them. You know, I got other shit to do. So Miguel Hernandez. Yes. DirecTV was meant to be sold by AT&T. They had no choice. And that's because of the Warner deal, right? Culture.
Yeah, this is the second time around too that they're offering it up. They're trying, and it's a little bit to do with that because they have some other television interests that they would like to pursue. But it's in their best interest to divest themselves of DirecTV. And DirecTV was a temporary thing for them.
And I think they have to get rid of something, and they chose DirecTV. Basically, yeah. Kind of like with when Disney bought Fox, and they couldn't get the networks, and they couldn't buy certain other things too because of that.
Yeah, you can only hold one network, a broadcast network at a time. You can own all kinds of cable channels, but only one broadcast network. FCC licensure.
And not only that, Bill, and to go back to the Bill and Ted thing, they're proactive in the ending too. Like, they figure out everything that needs to be done to fix everything. So I don't want to get into too much of it. I'm going to probably have to work up some kind of video or do something at some point because people have asked me to do it. So I might on both sides. So it's not just like one side wants it or this or the other. And I get it. This is a bit of a divisive film, but the divisiveness I see in it, a lot of it just feels like people are trying to find excuses around the facts that they're girls. And the other stuff I have no problem with, like we were just talking about here, like the production value and stuff, like, you know, and I even said Samara Weaving, I didn't think she was that great as Bill's daughter, but I thought Bridget Lundy Payne, I thought she was amazing. I didn't like Kristen Scholl's part, or whatever however you say her name. I thought it should have been somebody better. There's a couple other people we mentioned already that would have been better in that role, but to get into it too much would have spoiled it. But like I said, we'll talk more about it in the future, and I think you and I plan on talking about it tomorrow, don't we, Culture?
Yeah, we're going to talk about. Yeah, we're going.
What time is it?
It's going to be we're going to do 11 PST or 2 o'clock EST.
2 o'clock Eastern and 1 Central. All right.
Yeah.
Diego Flores sends five Peruvian souls. Culture Casino talks about being a detective while he has Biden sniffing Tooncock in his profile.
I did.
He needs to investigate that.
Yeah. Yeah, here, investigate this one.
Ooh, oh, good Lord.
There you go.
Good Lord, there's something wrong with that. And why is Biden so small? He's so tiny and Ray's head's so big. Well, she does have a big head.
Yeah, she does.
Steven Seagal beat up Alex Kurtzman. Says another Canadian $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Is small things a penis insecurity? Hashtag we are here for you. I'm gonna plead the fifth. This I also agree with Ronan. There was something in the end credits that was cool, but there was more. They could have given us a little bit more. There was that part. I do agree that it's being that this is gonna probably be the last movie. Obviously, we definitely need more. Diego Flores sends another 50 Peruvian souls. Jeesh, thank you. Tom, before you wrap, I saw Gary's video about Escape from San Fran. Made me think how the migration of many people could affect the movie industry, since now maybe chain cinemas will lose a role and be replaced by local cinemas. That's a very interesting possibility. I did watch that video too. Movies, script can speak to this. I think movies have been moving out of Hollywood for some time. Same thing with television. A lot of it's going to Canada, Georgia, few other places.
Last 25 years, Ontario and British Columbia have been dominant for TV productions. Granted, the average number is between 30 to 40 a year, which is still pretty high. But Atlanta has also taken a whole lot of productions as well. And there's also been a couple of places in Florida that have been set up over the last 15 or so years that are doing quite well. So, yeah, it's not just in California.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Berlanti shoots 80% of their stuff up there, I think. So that's a lot of CW production.
He pretty much shoots every show that he has.
Atlanta is like New Hollywood. Like everything's filmed in Georgia now.
Well, yeah, the expansion of Pinewood Studios in Georgia is insane, and they're not even close to done with what they're building out in sound studios there. You have all of the stuff that's going into New Zealand now, television production, and Netflix is down there pretty deep. I mean, global production for television and movies is no joke now, and a lot of times it's much cheaper. Pinewood Studios in the UK is maxed out almost entirely by Disney right now. There's very little left there for anyone else to get space wise. So, yeah.
All right. And where am I here? Did we have another one? I think. Oh yeah, where you got to read this one. Fluffy Panda sends in $5. Just think, people are worked out and a little overprotective of their beloved characters. Look at Perry Mason, shaking my head so bad. And I totally understand that, Fluffy Panda, and that's why I'm trying to be as understanding of people's feelings as possible. I totally get it. The problem is that this, let me put it this way. If this movie's agenda was to be woke in any way, it does a really, really fucking shitty job. Like a very shitty job. If you're talking about Bill and Ted, that is, which I'm assuming you are. Like there's one part in it where a certain female character fucks up completely, and none of these characters are perfect. None of them are Mary Sue's. It's not like you have the girls or anybody else going around going, well, why aren't the girls in the band? They're so talented. None of that. It's like a last minute thought. Like that's the whole thing. And I think like the line is overlooked, and I want to get into explaining where and again, this is, I can also accept that people, aren't going to accept it just because it's my interpretation. And I totally get that too. But I'm coming from a place where I've seen the movies a million times. I've read the comic books. I've read the novels. I've talked to Ed a little bit about it. I want to talk to him some more about it when we get a chance. And that is not even you know, and that's the other thing that's pissing me off is people are calling me a shill, or they're saying that my opinion's being influenced because I've talked to the director. If that was the truth, then I'd call bullshit on them, and they can check a lot of my other interviews, because I did not like Jason Goes to Hell, and the director completely knows that. He knows most of you don't. You know, like most of these people don't take that shit personally. You know what Ed and I talked about in private? I'll tell you, he loves it when people shit on his movies. He loves sitting there and
forces him to do better.
He loves, like, there's a famous story where there was two women debating about the movie Men in Black. I don't exactly remember what they were debating about it, but he came in and he said, well, I can actually settle this argument. And he explained whatever it was that he needed to explain. And they're like, well, we don't appreciate you mansplaining this to us. And then he's like, he never had heard the word mansplaining before. This is not even that old of a story. So this guy, even if he's in Hollywood, he's not even that keyed in on the fucking agenda. And the other thing is, you know why he was apologizing and saying certain things like the FAG word and all that kind of stuff, is because he had gotten bombarded for the last few days and basically forced to apologize by Collider over shit that's 30 some years old. He's been getting bombarded for years, the last 2 years practically, online about, is it woke? Is it woke? Is it woke? He's like, we fucking wrote this thing back in 2005 or 6 or 7, whatever it was. And we didn't even think about it then. It was just, like he said, we tried it as boys. It didn't work. They came off redundant, like a Dumb and Dumber kind of thing. Like they were just trying to mimic Bill and Ted. And if you tried to make them smart or cool, it didn't work either. It took the funny out of them. And then, like I keep saying, isn't that exactly what people were worried about with Bill and Ted's daughters being too cool or too smart? Yeah, they know certain things about music, but they don't know shit about playing it. They're just like their dads were. They love music, but they don't know shit about playing it. You know, and then the retcon stuff, people are like this, that, and the other. I've caught some. Look, I understand people think they've seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, but I swear they have not watched it as many times as they think they have.
It's not a retcon. They didn't specify. I pulled up the footage of the.
Well, and I'm not even talking about the girls anymore. I'm talking about the song at the end. People are like, well, they already wrote the song. No, that was the song to win the battle of the bands, like Donamo said at the beginning. They have reached the second crucial turning point in their destiny. And then people also people are like, well, they're from the future. Look, the time travel logic, you got to throw out the fucking window with Bill and Ted. There is no fucking time travel logic, because if there was time travel logic, then there would be no need or worry for the clock bullshit. That's a story trope that's put there. It's because this is a comedy. They need certain rules to hang it on. You know, like, I get that. It's a cartoon. You know what I mean? Especially Bogus Journey is a flat out gonzo cartoon. Like the rules go out the window in that film. And it's the same thing with the new one to a point, but actually they rein it in a little bit more, because the rules do try to make things make sense. And just like Mecca and I said in the beginning, like the synopsis I heard from one of my inside sources before I ever even got to talk to Ed about this film, was it not almost exactly what we got?
Yeah, well, and that was also between your stuff that you had about what the story was, and then what I found of when the script was. We already knew that it was a decade-old script anyway.
The only thing that really changed was, but before version was something happened to Rufus, and that's where something went wrong.
Yeah,
and there was a villain at one point, but they took the villain out, and now it's more like everybody's questioning Rufus's prophecy. Or the prophecy.
That they didn't explain. They didn't explain
the prophecy. Yes.
Yeah, but they didn't explain what happened to Rufus, or at least I didn't catch it. Now, I've only seen it once so far.
And they don't, and that's the only other thing. I mean, we're just supposed to assume that, you know, just kind of like that clock in San Dimas is always running. Like, it's the same kind of thing here. And where Christian Schall's character explains they just found this one anomaly recently. So that's another reason why this was something that happened in the future beyond Rufus's time. I get that. There was one thing they could have had without giving too much away at the end that probably would have helped a lot. And that was how they used the cameo. Since everybody already knows there's a slight cameo in this movie, they could have used it to a much better purpose. All you had to do was at the end of the film, when that moment is over, all they had to do is have the boys look over at the phone booth, and have two Rufuses or one Rufus or whatever, because like he comes there, whatever, however you want to work it out. The Rufus takes the phone booth back.
Yeah,
and he gives them a little nod, like "Good job, boys," or something like that. I knew you could do it. That's all he has to say. Whoever they did to get his voice in there anyway did a beautiful job. So that's all you
Yeah.
needed was I knew you guys could do it, and him just getting in the phone booth and taking off. So the phone booth is no longer there. There is no more adventures. Things have been set right now. Nothing needs to be changed because people forget, because I've gotten this other thing is like, well, if they knew this and that and the other, wouldn't Rufus know this? And that's like, obviously, if the timeline worked the way that everybody thinks that normal time travel works, like Back to the Future, then Rufus would have never had to help them in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that I think people are overlooking. It's like Bill and Ted logic is, you know, when Bill and Ted go like, well, how can we possibly do this? Or how can it possibly happen? It's because it is that way, or because it did happen. Remember, that's what I'm saying. Like, Rufus knows this is what's supposed to happen. And that's where I said you could have had that little nod there and had Rufus being there, witnessing the event, and still be part of the story from his timeline or whatever. And that's the other thing. I knew this was going to get into multiple timelines as well. Anyway, that was the other part.
Yeah, but even with that, Tom, it didn't take me out of the movie. It just was something that's hanging there. And I don't expect every movie to answer every question. So I mean, like you said, it didn't take me out of the film, but it's one of those. Yeah,
it could have been handled a little bit better, but yeah.
Oh, I can explain the whole like ticking clock aspect of the Bill and Ted stuff. That's actually quite easy, and that just comes down to time syncing between the individual and the time that they belong in. So when Rufus says that clock is always running, it means whatever passage of time is happening to Bill and Ted, they have to return to where they would be in that. So if they're gone for 10 hours, they can't go back to what they were before. They have to go back to 10 hours because they've lived 10 hours.
Thing like Marty does at the end where he says, well, I got a time machine now. I got his time. I can just go back 10, 15 minutes or whatever and change it.
Yeah.
Like they can't do that without
going
and Bill
back. And Ted, you're in sync with your timeline forever. Like that's why you can't go away for like 20 years and then
that part makes sense
at the point where you left.
But what doesn't make sense is when that goes where that goes out the window, though, script, and I'm willing to accept this just because it's a Monty Python-esque movie, is when they go to whatever historical event, it just goes to that historical event. Like the way the time circuit works. They don't really give you great explanations, but it's like the Force. They just fucking work. You punch in a bunch of numbers and it takes you where you need to go. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the way it works. But that's like the whole warning, like you're saying, is like, your internal clock or whatever is still running in San Dimas. Like if you come back at any other time, it's still going to be, at your time, not the time you left, but whatever time has passed. Well, I get that. And that's kind of the logic they come back to here, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, people forget, had no time travel in it. Outside of Denamalos.
The guys at the very end, they went 16 months ahead, had their kids, went back to play, and then they went back to their old time again. Because what Bogus Journey takes place in 93, right?
Yeah.
So 93 plus 16.
It's true because you go and if you listen and face the music, they flat out said the girls are only 24 years old. So what happened?
That means they were born in 95.
Yeah, at the end of Bogus Journey, they went back to wherever it was they came from. So technically, they were probably gone for 2 years when they learned.
Well, they
added all up. So 16 months. So that's almost 2 years. Yeah, close to 2 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't have any trouble with any of that, and so like you said, I mean, you and I were going to talk about this at length tomorrow morning or midday or whatever it is for everybody around.
Heavy spoilers.
Yeah, but. So like I said, so 11 PST, so whatever that is for wherever you are.
And Fluffy Panda says with $5 to kind of finish this up, Hollywood has turned fans into abused wives, which can ruin just enjoying a film like Bill and Ted 3. And I understand that 100%. I went into this movie expecting the absolute fucking worst. Despite everything I knew, I still was worried. I was still concerned. There were still moments where I went into cringe territory, but it kept pulling me back out. So then I watched it again after taking a long breath. I got to see the second viewing, and it was I was able to just enjoy it. On the third viewing, it was basically the same as the second viewing. So so far it's held up on 3 viewings, and then I've actually gone back to it a few times just to check out certain scenes when I'm, like the end scene when I say certain things are happening, just to make sure I'm correct. And I'm remembering things correctly. So like vicariously, I've probably seen it 4 or 5 times, various scenes and stuff like that. But like Fluffy says, he can deal with a little wokeness. And that's the thing. I wouldn't have a problem with the wokeness factor either. But my issue is the people that are throwing the woke shit at it and acting like it's the wokest thing ever, when it's like, here's my thing. If we keep looking like we're barking at shadows, we're going to become exactly what everybody accuses us of. And if every little thing that has, one little, slightly woke thing in it, and it's not even remotely as woke as, everybody's making it out to be, if we react that bad to every little thing, then aren't we just as bad as them? And then here's the other side of it too, is the people that are coming after me, they're coming after me for my opinion and because they don't agree with me, which is fine. I don't care if you don't agree with me, but aren't you basically doing exactly what, what the Phantom Menace is about, is your ability to have an opinion about a film without being attacked? I'm not going out of my way to attack anybody. In fact, like, anytime I found a conversation about the movie itself that had nothing to do with the girls, or at least nothing to do with the girls' fact being like, they ruined the movie, like, I'll get into the conversations. And like, even when I've shit on the movie a little bit here and there. And I'm not gonna, you can find the messages out there. I've made fun of Keanu Reeves looking like fucking what's his face, Alan Rickman and shit in the movie. He does look like Alan. He should have kept the beard. He should have kept the beard. Plain and simple. And there's a few other things I've complained about. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I can't stand Kristen Schall's character. I thought she was the worst choice for that role. I should rephrase that. I don't mind her character. I hate her in the role.
Yeah,
but you don't hate her. She just did not give the performance that worked best for that role. Exactly.
And somebody brought up, I brought up Janine Garofalo, but I can't remember who brought up Alanis Morissette. But I'm like, that would have been another better choice.
Oh, that would have been really funny. Yeah,
Alanis would have been perfect. Yeah,
because then it also would have tied to Bill and Ted to Jay and Silent Bob in a vicarious way, because Jay and Silent Bob and Bill and Kevin Smith said this way before the Comic-Con panel, have been heavily inspired by Bill and Ted. In fact, they've referenced them several times. Like, he's flat out said that was a big inspiration on him for those two characters.
And because it's straight out of Dogma. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's like this whole little tie, wink, wink kind of thing back to Kevin Smith having, Jay and Silent Bob be like Bill and Ted, have Alanis Morissette play the Rufus daughter character. That's all you have to do. It would have been cool as shit. Or Janine Garofalo, somebody who's in that cool zone. Like, Kristen Schaal doesn't fit the role. She just doesn't fit the role. And it's a great, juicy fucking role. And there's a lot of great stuff there. I mean, she makes certain bits of it funny, don't get me wrong, but I can just imagine the another actress just taking that and running with it.
How about Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah.
Kristen
Schaal has Kristen Schaal has a problem playing the character of that type as straight as possible, because that's what George Carlin does with Rufus. He plays it very straight. And that's kind of like what you need. Yeah, he's the coolest guy in the universe. He plays it serious. He plays it straight. He's not trying to embellish anything for comedy. He knows exactly what it is, and I think Kristen Schaal just was not the right fit for that. She could have like been, I don't know, Missy's daughter, that is like the new sister to stepsister to Bill and Ted or something like that, because
Denomalos and Missy's daughter.
Yeah, Denomalos. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Because again, you don't feel like there's an influence.
Yeah, sorry.
You just don't feel like there's any, aside from her point of view, like Kristen Schall's point of view, from her performance, you don't feel like there's any influence from the Rufus character or George Carlinisms in her.
Yeah, and that's true. And like I just told Captain Robert April, he's like, it should have been Carlin's daughter since she's in the film anyway. I mean, yeah, she has a cameo in it. She probably didn't want the part. They may have even offered it to her for all we know, because her and Ed are good friends. She grew up on the sets of the first two. So like, I don't know. I think it was, that's the biggest miscast in the whole movie. Miguel Hernandez sends in $2. I think the movie needed two Rufus arc. I think I know what you're asking here. It does have a good arc for Rufus, but I think Culture's right that they should have explained, he passed away or whatever happened. And I mean, they do kind of give you this idea that they found this shit after the fact. Like, that's kind of the whole point as to why they're coming from that future. But like, I've brought up to people just like the whole idea of, going by Bill and Ted time logic, their whole basis for their society is built on Bill and Ted. I get that. And that's still, that still rings true in the movie. What if it's just the simple fact that Rufus chose them? Like, people don't even stop to think like that. It's like, it's just a simple matter of, Rufus chose them, and that's why they decided that they're the great ones. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, because like, there's just little things that people like, don't even stop to think about like how this whole story kind of wraps around itself in this future and with the multiple dimensions and shit, because that's where like, well, if they knew this, then why didn't they do this? And then it's like they tried to do their very best as writers, I can tell, to tie this back to the first two films. They paid as much attention as they could to what they put into the films, even the stuff that they weren't responsible for, and work off everything they could to the best of their ability. Now, could it have been better? Oh, fuck yeah. If they'd have had $10-20 million more, could it have been more amazing? Oh, shit, yeah. But would it have made its money back? No. It's doing pretty well. We'll never have any solid numbers here for like till. Do they even release streaming numbers in the US, guys? I don't remember.
Well, the thing is, these are purchase numbers.
They might do like streaming sales.
That's what I was
curious.
Exactly.
Yeah. They add them into the gross.
It's number one on every on iTunes, Amazon, Vudu, all those, and then like the trilogy is like 3 or 4 on most of them. So
yeah, that bundle is very attractive on Vudu. It's like $35
for 4K, but I bought Bogus Journey in 4K and it looks like shit. Well, it's because it's not from the negative. That's why, and it's probably some old fucking upscale or something like that. I'm thinking, yeah. Because Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey has never gotten any decent treatment. Excellent Adventure, I know, got a negative rescan for the 4K Blu-ray. So that one might be that same scan. I don't know. I didn't buy that one because I already have the 4K Blu-ray imported. But
it's a beautiful film.
Oh yeah, that's the problem I'm pissed about, because that movie has such great production design and the colors, and I'm like, I was watching, I'm like, this looks like garbage. What the fuck? This has got to be an up convert or an old rip.
It's
it's bad.
Well, see, now I'm just waiting for like the trilogy box set, because once that hits the market, I have
the Scout Factory set from a while back, and of course I will buy physical media when it comes out, because I'm also upset that the 4K version of Face the Music is just 4K and has the same problem with Bogus Journey. Neither one of them have HDR, so that's a big. In that case, it doesn't really matter if it's 4K or not, because it's almost going to look just the same, almost in regular. Unless you're right up on the TV or you got a huge screen. But all right, we went like 30 more minutes than I had planned on. But you guys have been sending in super chats with great questions and stuff, and I appreciate it. I didn't really plan on going off on Bill and Ted that long.
Well, save a little of it for tomorrow. So just a little. We're only going to go about 20 minutes on it. So, but I have some thoughts, so I can't wait to.
Okay.
Ask question.
Tropology says both Carlin and Adams told us to analyze and find enjoyment. Bill and Ted 3 did that. Made enjoyable the evil trope of daughters and fathers. They are just that. Yeah, I mean, I think Rob, you nailed it, and that's what that pissed me off about my review is Rob got all the good shit to do in that one video, but I think he nailed it at the end there when the entire bad dad trope is broken. In that moment when, it's not just once in the movie, it's a couple times where they're told, you guys raised good daughters,
Yeah.
Yes.
And people keep forgetting, like, even in that first bit layer, like, where Ted's dad's dressing them all down, he's not even saying that the girls are that great of anything. He's blaming Bill and Ted for them being whatever. But if it wasn't for Bill and Ted letting them be themselves, then things wouldn't have worked out the way they were. So, like, again, every way you turn and look at it, it's like Bill and Ted are still responsible for this. I get that. It's really, I mean, I've overanalyzed the movie so much. Like, I've got this thing with Bogus Journey that I've gone through and just ripped that movie apart, but I love it. So yeah. Mike and Ayers sends in $1.99. Thank you so much. You don't have an icon. I wonder why your icon doesn't show up there unless you just don't have one. Overkill 161 sends in a super sticker. I can't see what it is. You guys got
poop. It's a smiley poopy.
Pooper sticker. Thank you so much. In honor of Christy. Oh, Bad Bunny had tacos for dinner. So did I, actually.
Ooh.
I was like, it's taco Monday. I'll have Chinese food tomorrow, maybe if I get paid. But we got a really cool shirt right now over at our Mixed Tees site. It's the new I'm Batman t-shirt. And we also have another selection of quite a few t-shirts. Mecca also has t-shirts. She has one that says movies are not mandatory and other things and other videos. So check out her channel as well. Also check out Culture Casino's channel. Check out Script Doctor. Check out Ord's Board. Check out all of our friends, of course. Check me out tomorrow on Culture Casino's channel if you want to hear us talk more about Bill and Ted. That shirt's a lie. He's not Batman. How do you know?
You don't know that.
You don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, see, that's kind of where I was at, and that's where I kind of think that the line was just piss poor, or they meant a little bit more like they're there to back up their band.
Yeah, it was. I even picked on that on my video. That's just such a shitty line, because they really, once you actually watch it, they really don't have anything to do with it other than like tell Death, hey, play this part from this song, and just kind of conduct.
There's a weird
produce.
close up there too. I wonder if that line was reshot.
Maybe.
If you watch it again, like it cuts to Ted in that line, and it's like a real weird close up, like a really weird close up.
Yeah.
So I'm like almost wondering if the original line wasn't "you are in the band" or "you're part of the band too" or whatever, and they changed. I don't know. Hey, pop culture,
more like the genre that we should play, because they can play them all by that point. Like they literally have spent the last 25 years learning every instrument they can, just trying to experiment and figure out what that song would be. Right?
I kind of looked at it more like this: they had gotten the greatest band in history together. That was their goal. Like so,
Yep.
like if that's the way I kind of looked at it. Is like like Wild Stallions is there to back their band up. Now, whether they're implying that that's their band from here on out and they can continue on and do their own thing as the girls, whatever, that's not even a thought, I think, in the back of the filmmaker's mind. There was one article, I think, that came out about them talking about Bill and Ted 4, and it's like, probably not going to happen. This is, unless this movie's a huge fucking hit, which is not likely now, not going to happen. This is meant to be the last movie. I agree with a lot of people. They could have done a little bit more to give us a bit of a better send off with the characters. I think so. I don't know if some people just didn't realize there is a post-credit scene that goes on for almost 3 minutes. So if you haven't checked that out, that might be that send off you're hoping for. If not, I still wish there could have been a little bit more. I even emailed Ed about one thing. I'm like, this movie's missing one thing, especially. That's death at the very, 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 very end, knocking on the window. But anyway, all right. Let's get out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in and checking us out. Appreciate my panel members. I appreciate everybody. Even those who piss me off and hate me. I still love them. And I don't have any music, so what are we going to go out on here, Rob? I guess we'll just go down. Lord help me.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something wonderful happens.
What?
It ends.